like in 2013, with help and active participation of WCF representatives Don Feder, Alexei Komov, and Fabrice Serlin, we have managed to stop the gay pride parade in our capital city, which was a huge success, of course. Much more than that, we have learned so much about pro-family policies from experts from all around the world, build alliances and friendships. We have created our political program based on pro-family issues, presented it to our voters at parliamentary elections last year in Serbia, and managed to enter the Serbian parliament. So the point is that networking with like-minded people and organizations was crucial for our political success. And once we got into the parliament, only then we realized the depth of the problems that we are facing with. Only one example, last year, the first session of the newly formed Parliamentary Committee for Human Rights was dedicated to LGBT rights. So not for endangered rights of single mothers or poor families, but for LGBT rights. So that's how it is in Serbia. So our primary political goal in Serbia is to implement large number of pro-family policies and measures. Let me just give you a quick update on the situation in Serbia. Total fertility rate is 1.43. We are losing almost 40,000 citizens annually. Number of abortions are estimated to be close to 150,000. And don't forget that we are a nation of only 7 million people. There are constant attempts to implement comprehensive sexuality education in our school, to legalize surrogacy or euthanasia through our new civil code, to widen the rights of so-called sexual minorities, or to limit parental rights in making decisions about education and future of their children. Very importantly, there are no true pro-family policies in Serbia, and for example, only 0.4% of GDP is used for financial support of the families. Not like here in Hungary, where I believe Hungarians are dedicating 4.7% of GDP, and that makes them leader in Europe. So our pro-family program is quite extensive, but we have formulated the basic 10 points for the family, which we are presenting here at the WCF today. The first and most important thing when creating a pro-family policy is to create a legal framework so it could work, something that Hungarians have already done. So our first point is act on protection of the family, which will define the natural family as the union of a man and a woman in sacred bond of marriage and as a social institution of highest importance, which has the right to be protected by society and the state in accordance with Article 16 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and, of course, our Constitution, that would separate welfare policies from pro-family policies once and for all, that would oblige the government to see the well-being of the natural family as a top priority, that would protect the fundamental rights of parents and children, allow the creation of special housing projects for families, and so on. Second, we will propose a comprehensive tax reform that will favor families with many children. Then, third, we are proposing the government must have a ministry for the family, for it is important to send a strong message to the families in Serbia and any country in the world that the government is actually taking care of them. That is something we don't have right now. Fourth, we want to create an independent institution of ombudsman for the family as a pro-family controlling mechanism of the government. Right now we have ombudsman for human rights, who is every year on May 17, when it is International Day Against Homophobia, he's putting the rainbow flag in his office in center of Belgrade, but 2 days before that, on May 15, the International Day of Families, he's doing, of course, nothing. So, fifth, we wish to see a motherhood as a job category and to create a legal framework for recognizing exclusive dedication to the family of mothers or fathers. We want to reform the existing law on financial support to families with children so we can have child allowance for all children or universal family allowance for all families with 3 or more children, which is something that we don't have right now. Seventh, we need to implement various pro-families measures at local levels, such as free transportation, free kindergartens for second and each subsequent child, reallocation of local budgets to schools, primary healthcare facilities, children playgrounds, and so on. Eight, we are preparing a set of laws and measures that would enable married couples to own a family home in shorter period of time and under much better conditions than the conditions on the market, which is basically a pro-family housing project. Then we want to create a family-friendly business and economy, meaning that we need to support the companies who are hiring mothers and fathers and to implement a sustainable work-family balance programs. And 10th, but very important, we need to have a family-friendly education. So in our schools, education about the sanctity of human life, about motherhood and fatherhood, importance of the natural family for the entire society, and so on. So we are looking at our neighbors, Hungarians, as an example of how to create a family-friendly country, and we are convinced that all it takes to start creating a family-friendly country is to start implementing these and similar measures, because once they are alive and once the families experience the benefits of these family measures, it will be very hard to stop them by some future liberal government, maybe. Another very important thing is that all around the world we need more pro-family or pro-life politicians and parties, because without that we can truly never be very or fully successful. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm hoping that you would support our 10 points for the family. For your support would show the people in Serbia that we are not alone, that families are facing the same problems all over the world, and that together we can actually win. Thank you.